just the ground, dirt, and ash, but now you see what that is? This bark that is coming off of this oak as it pops off. But that's what trees do, they grow from the inside. So hopefully it'll recover. Most assure you that a lot of them will. I was thinking, I hope this oak wasn't holding anything inside of it that got loose. Look at that. That is incredible. Look at the burls and stuff on the outside. All of the bark is popping off, and you can see the burliness of this oak. And it is just golden. Look at that, that's insane. Oh, it's just charred, but that's what's underneath. But yeah, just barely hardly anything left. Here's the top of it where it burnt. Oh, probably shouldn't have done that. I'm glad I didn't fall 10 foot down in the hole. Do you see? Half of this tree snapped off because it was hollow. There's what remains. And this half of it fell towards us and burnt, and that's the pattern left on the ground. Just a shadow of a tree left burnt there. With little traces of ash. So you can see the actual branch that fell here. So many trees coming down today. 3 days of wind. Okay, well, we are in my truck, so I don't have to shout at you. It is so windy out there. We're having a freak windy day. It's hard to tell without any leaves on there. But yeah, we're getting some, without exaggeration, probably 40-mile-an-hour gusts plus here and there. Look at this. We've had so much fire. It came through these hills and burnt off every stick of grass. Look where the water came down. Just a few rains that we had. You can see where it gathered at the top, broke, and slid all the way down this. That's all recent. See all that? That's where it broke loose and went downhill. And there's still not enough grass growth, so. Originally there was trees. The trees before cattle and lumber and everything else had deeper roots, and then you get just grass on there, and this is basically decomposed sandstone. A lot of California is just sediment, and without those deeper roots, bushes, of course, are about as deep, at least as deep as they are tall, and trees, grass, when you see them spreading it out, yeah, it can hold a slope overall a little bit, but barely. That's one of the main silent plagues of California, is how steep it is and how much we have devegetated it. and how much it erodes constantly. Look at this, the spill out at the bottom here. That's how much came downhill. That was a moving landslide. See that? Blech, just barf downhill. They're actually all through this canyon, but I was sitting here and that was a good example now. The reason why I came inside is because I just gathered up an entire pocket of rocks. This is where I gathered up without you because I got out of the truck. I did an exploratory and I was like, whoa. Now, my house, literally my chicken coop at my house is dug into this stuff. It's serpentine mountainside, but then in it goes chalky to that texture. And in amongst that are these layers, bands, and nodules of the shinier stuff, which is probably a 3 or a 4 at max on Mohs hardness scale. And I've been hunting this lately in videos, so I don't know if you've seen any of those or if this is one of the first. We're definitely going to cut these, but it drives me crazy because it comes in super green color. So here's like a chunk of it where it's fallen out of a serpentine hillside. Instead of being regular serpentines, it's these blues and grays, and you see the sheen. It's natural like that, but not conchoidal at all, not like obsidian, just all square. This is the stuff that I was bashing up in the canyon that can be very fractious and have a bunch of different colors to it. Again, I think that these are dark green pieces that I have here. This was also in the same area. It looks to be what you could consider a marble. We do have a type of marble out here. Marble's more of a term than a specific type of stuff. Here's another piece of this that's more of a green. Feels like opal does. Not like crystalline opal, but like precious opals, and a lot of those just very plasticky. Here's another piece of it. And the color scheme. Grab this one because it's got lots of tiger stripe things going on with it. That plasticky sheen. I do find these all the time in my yard when I dig down to the actual mountainside. I live on a slope, so I've built terraces into it. And this is the white chalk that I'm dealing with, and then these are the bands of good stuff that go through it. On this little hike though, I was finding big pieces of it, so here's a nodule. And then some classic serpentine here, although this I swear was coming out of what looked like a little shallow dug pit mine. And I was like, why would they be digging this out? There you go, look. So I don't know what kind of mineral that is occurring with it. It's definitely there. It's black and peppered all through it. So harvesting it would be technical, I'm sure, in a larger industrial sense, but I found it hard to believe that where the man-made looking diggings were. I mean, like I said, I live in Serpentine, and this stuff was just sitting there. I've never seen this in any of the canyons I climb through, road cuts I drive through. There was more of it nearby. And yeah, took about 5 minutes to look around and gather these, so the whole area had a semi-consistent peppering of this mineral dispersed throughout the serpentine. Help, 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 rockhounding community. Quest for details always needs more info. I don't go out on a single trip where I don't end up with a dozen more questions than I came out to answer. Home sites and stuff too were, yeah, too much to explore in the world, so I hope all of you are out there doing what you can where you can. Look at this boulder. Look at this boulder. You seeing this? Are you seeing this? Look at these druzy pockets. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Okay, always wear gloves, but sorry about the gore. You with me on that? Okay, that's gonna be my samples off of that. We know there's more for sure. There's the detail on that. Go ahead and classify that puppy as a marble. There's another one here. I think those are the two toes of a goat or a pig. And these are his two toes. That is creepy. We are way out here and the wind is whipping these old corral pieces of metal around. And just, yeah, sounding pretty aggro and violent over there, people. And Franciscan sandstones. Meaning sedimentary layers from the bottom of the ocean. Wow! That looks like a concretion for sure. I don't know if there's anything in there, but that's what's inside, which is still pretty cool. There's one little thing sticking out there and I don't see anything else, but there's something in there. That's still really cool. I'm going to keep that. A little creepy. It's been burnt bad. Burnt bad and black. And now we have devil winds. And the sun is setting. Jeez. Here's the well. It's cement, but it's old cement. You can see it's long gone. Oh yeah. Smell bad. Probably had a lid, let's say, until these fires came through. So we will have to refashion a lid here. I think this bigger bummer. Look, there's the actual wooden post that was screwed into it. And looks like the heat got to it. This was probably on the ground. Oh. I'm just looking at what's sticking out of the bank. Remember that you can observe anything that you want, basically. So don't be afraid to go forth and observe your world. This is long gone, but I am looking at these ribs and we can say that's gotta be a cow. Like moo. Yeah. Look at these leg bones. That's the fun part about walking around after a fire, is it turns areas that are usually heavy vegetative states into like lake beds. Yeah. Bones. That was already long gone by the time the fires got here. We gotta keep our head up today. This is the first Cyclonian winds we've had since the fires came through here last season. So there are trees going down all around us, and I am not exaggerating. Okay, just gonna pick this up so you can see it. There's a razor sharp obsidian knife. Just picked this up, which is a real simple, just worked on the front here, I believe. Probably a little scraper, didn't really have to do much to it. This one way more refined, probably snapped right there. Don't believe that it was a spear tip, probably a knife. Beautiful. And it's a pretty obvious spot for a camp here. These are sharp like this, unlike ones that I show you in the rivers, because they're in a non-dynamic zone, is what I like to call it. So that means that the river is not bashing them apart. It's not carrying them from this site where they can help add to the information of the location. They are being left exactly where they fell, where they are, where they were being made. And so you don't want to take pages out of a book that somebody might want to read later on. Okay. Getting late in the day. I think that we are going to head back, do some cutting on these rocks. I'll show you. Well, we'll do some washing and some cutting. I'll show you what we see.